All right, that's it. End of the large. Check it out. 0 left. So we're gonna be throwing that box out, and now there's a bit more space left here. There is, oh man, I want to say, this is how they come, right? So there's 4, this is the mediums, 10, all right, 10, 24 mediums left. And then I probably have, easily 40 of the extra large. So thank you, fellas. I mean, it's been unbelievable. The funds that I've received from this have all gone over to different factories around the place. I have ordered, and they're on their way, the stickers. I'm very, very happy about the stickers. I ordered these premium thick back stickers. So I'm really, really keen to get those. On my car, I've got the Jordan sticker that you get with the shoe. I've got a pair of them on the back door, on the back little triangle part of the door. I've got those. I've always had them ever since I've started driving. That was kind of my basketball reference. I love putting the logo there. And so the inspiration for my logo has always been Michael Jordan, you know, the jump man. So, you know, that to me is going to be really, really cool to put on the car as well. So I'm looking forward to that. And I've got a whole stack of them. And so my plan is, with each jersey order, when I receive the stickers, hopefully in a week or 2 or something like that, maybe sooner. I don't really know how it's going to go. I guess he's got to clear customs and all that stuff. But yeah, with each purchase of the jerseys, I will include the sticker. That was kind of the plan all along. So I'm really, really keen for you guys to get those when you decide to support me. So that's all happening. The bands also, or the first, the first sample is pretty much done. They're going to send it over. So let's see. I mean, it might be a bit of a process. One of the lads also messaged me on Instagram saying that I could be, you know, doing the sampling at home myself, just buying some knee sleeves, knee sleeves. And then like chopping them up and like, you know, getting somebody to sew them together. And that could be kind of my trial for the length and stuff. These guys, you know, are kind of already halfway through the process of making the first sample, so I'll see that, and I'll go from there. I've got some bands that I bought, you know, at the local shop, like Kmart. I bought. Actually, my missus found them probably 1.5 years, 2 years ago now, and I bought a stack of them. But the trouble with them is, I don't know why they do this stuff, man. As the tension on those bands goes up, they've decided to make it longer. Great, but why did you make the really, really easy ones really short? It makes absolutely no sense. So you have a situation where you have a pack of 3 of those bands, and so the easy band is this big, let's say, or something like that, this big. Medium is this big, and the large is this big. But the medium, but the smallest band or the lightest band, when stretched to the maximum, makes the same tension as the freaking long one or the heavy one. Makes no sense. They've got 3 different bands doing the same job. I do not understand that. If you're going to make something, you have to have a constant, and the constant is length, and the variable is the tension. It just makes no sense to me. It's like these people that make this stuff, what are they even thinking about? Like, I honestly don't know. So that was my motivation behind the bands. I really want to get those bands sorted, the right length, and then I'll work out the tension and whatnot. I don't think you need a lot of tension. Once again, like, these bands are not for you to be sitting around and doing abductions, which you can. My motivation for these bands is to use them in the squat. And obviously when you have weight on your back, there is a tension going through those muscles and through those joints anyway. So it's not the sole tension. So you don't need a huge amount of tension to those bands. Once again, there's a weight on your back. It's just the proprioceptive connection of feeling a slight force that's pulling your knees in at the right, you know, stance. So then you kind of engage the right muscles while you are squatting. That was my motivation all along, and that's what I want to use it for. Now, if you're, I don't know, perhaps into, like, if you're a girl or so, or somebody like that, that's the video cut out. But what I was saying, if you're a girl and you're interested in sculpting your glutes and your side glutes and all that, sure, you can get bigger tensions. Maybe the bands which they already sell are satisfactory, but those bands I don't think are a good idea to use the squatting, because you're in not the right position. You're not putting the glutes in the optimal length, and so you do need longer bands. So I'm going to try and organize that. Really motivated to do this, by the way. This is something that I want to use, and the reason why I stopped using those bands is because the reason was they're too small, they're too short. So anyway, just want to give you an update on that. It's a kind of running commentary as well as my training. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Anyway, just wanted to say that before the video starts. So Saturdays have kind of become my max out day, or the day where you kind of at least push a little bit of a heavier single. Obviously, during the PR run, it was just, getting heavier and heavier every week. And I was in that peaking phase. Everything was going well. And I'm not in that peaking phase. I'm kind of in that period where I'm, working out the hips and whatnot. Today, I felt pretty good. And I decided to kind of try 220 again like last week. And I was even hoping maybe I could get 230. I don't know why I had that thought, but my hips are feeling great, and I thought I might push it. 180 felt good. 200 slowed down. When I loaded 220, it felt kind of heavy on my shoulders. And then I went down, and once again, my legs feel good, the hips feel good. I felt like I can push it. Got to the bottom, started going up, and I just felt like the more I pushed, the more the position was deteriorating. I felt straight away, oh my God, this back is really letting me down. Look back to the video, I can see exactly where the war is. I can see the fight where it is. I've been at this for a little while, and I know my body really well. And a lot of people will say it's the quads. It's not the quads, man. It's the upper back. The upper back was just not translating that force that I was generating in the lower part of the body into the bar. It was just caving. It was just deforming. And so that really, really motivated me. Not that I'm upset about, squatting 220 and failing it. I know where I'm capable of when I'm feeling right. And so that motivated me to do upper back. And so I spent damn near 2 hours doing upper back after this. I tried all sorts of exercises, really, really exhausted it. Essentially, my little fella, the 2-year-old, and myself, we were home alone. And so we were playing outside, and I thought, yeah, let's just freaking mess around with back, for the next 2 hours until the rest of the fam comes back. And then it kind of occurred to me that, I haven't really done the traditional lead up to a max day. Yesterday I did some bicep curls. I did something like 15 sets. I went crazy with it as well. And so that potentially have also fatigued the upper back. I didn't have the usual three days completely off training before I come to a Saturday. And so I've kind of have pre-exhausted myself, which, whatever. There's reasons for why it felt terrible today. So it's not exactly the back is weak, the back magically got really weak overnight. It's not that. It's probably pre-fatigued. But at the same time, I was like, yeah, okay, it's the back. Sure, I didn't give it the best chance today because of the pre-fatigue, but still, it's the back. And so I went crazy on back. I did my usual, neutral grip rowing. I did my, what do you call it? My pronated. Then I did pull-ups. Now, I haven't done pull-ups in a long time. Actually, I did chin-ups. I haven't done them in a little while because I've talked about this very, very often over the years, why I think rowing is more beneficial for me. But I decided to kind of end with a long exercise, and pull-ups and chin-ups are very long. They leave your body in a stretched position because you're hanging there. So I thought, yeah, let's finish off with like a really stretching exercise. Oh my God. Could barely get freaking 5 chin-ups, man. I was exhausted. And of course, it makes sense. I was exhausted after all the work that I did with the rows. So I did like 3 sets of 5. I just felt unstable and, too weak to lift my own body weight. So then I was like, okay, why don't I try some pullovers? Pullovers is much less weight and it's much more isolated. So I'd use 20 kilo dumbbell. Once again, I don't have heavier dumbbells. I used 20 kilo dumbbells. Felt pretty good. It was a nice stretch, whatnot, blah, blah, blah. Then I'm sitting there, it was, the rest of the fam still didn't arrive home. So I thought, okay, let me experiment with this idea. So I got the bands. I got the cable, set up the bench, and I started doing the cable pullovers, which, if you had the machine, the pullover machine would be ideal, but you kind of make do. It's not the same stretch as the dumbbell, but it's a great peak contraction at the bottom. And so it's kind of opposite to the dumbbell pullover. And it felt amazing, man. I got a trap pump out of it. I got a lat pump out of it. I'm feeling like the thoracic spine has been opened. And here's the squat. For me, this is upper back. I don't know if you guys see the same thing I'm seeing, but see, look at that. As I'm pushing, I just feel, you can bounce the video back, but I can see that I'm
caving more and more, and the butt's shooting more and more back. I just cannot keep the bar in that position that it needs to be so I can go straight. So for me, it's the back, and specifically the upper back. That's what's letting go. Like I said, I did barbell biceps yesterday. Does that really hit upper back? Well, I did feel upper back. I got a bit of a trap pump doing bicep curls. It's not crazy, but it's probably pre-fatigued a bit. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exercises for back today, and I've smashed it and I've experimented, and maybe I'll pick a second day somewhere in the week, maybe a Wednesday or something like that, where I'll revisit the back again, and then I'll have Thursday, Friday off. Well, that's too close. Maybe I'll do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off, completely off any upper back fatigue. Even bicep curls fatigue, yes, absolutely. And then on next Saturday, I'll try and not max again, but just heavier weight. I'm not ready to hit 240, absolutely not ready for that, because I'm not doing my belt squats, I'm not doing my low bar squats. The low bar squats is the key for me to really feel strong when it comes to maxing, because that is a heavy set of 5 by 5 with 180, maybe I can even try 190 this next block. That really is what moves the needle. All this other stuff that I'm doing is just to prepare, make sure all these other parts of the body have kind of had the hypertrophy and the prehab to take the squatting, really the low bar squatting, which then translates to high bar squatting for me. Obviously the hips is the key. So tomorrow morning I'll hit hips. I'll do crazy amounts of hip work. I've just isolated the whole day for hips. So no belt squats, no deadlifts, no low bar squats, nothing. Those 3 things, when I plug those 3 things, the belt squats, the low bar squats, and the deadlifts, when you see me doing those, I'm amping up my central nervous system, my body to hit 240. I'm not near that yet. Maybe at the start of December, maybe mid-December, I'll try to do that. I don't know. We'll go on a holiday at the end of December as well. So there's a holiday coming up there. So that's going to be I just do hypertrophy for the rest of the year. I'm not sure. I'll have a think about it. But there's going to be like a week holiday there somewhere, which is going to be interrupting the whole thing. So I don't know how it's going to go, but that's kind of the loose plan right now. I really want to prepare the body to take the low bar squat. So I really want to send it on the hips, send it on the upper back, do all of this work right now. So then when I start to do low bar squats, I can feel like I've got, a capacity to take, heavier weight. I'm thinking to myself, why don't I prepare the body so much that I can take 200 kilos for 5 by 5 on the squats? So my hips can externally rotate. They can keep the adductors long while I'm doing this stuff. That's what I'm hoping. I really don't want to go back and just do another bloody block of 180 for 5 by 5 on the low bar squats. If I do that, then I'm like, okay, I haven't really moved the hips in the right direction to be able to take more. Of course, I'm more capable with a low bar squat. I can do more, but it hurts me. And it hurts me because I got these deficiencies which I need to address with this other stuff that I'm doing. So it's all kind of linked together. It's all kind of like a mad scientist talking about his schemes. But that's kind of where everything fits in. Everything that I do right now is not just for the sake of doing it. I'm doing it for a purpose. And it's always been like that. The purpose is to move the squat, bench, deadlift, all that stuff. But yeah, that's kind of the thought process. That's kind of why I decided to fail the 200, the 220. It just didn't feel right. The back was giving up, and that's probably my fault in programming this week. I thought I could just do a whole bunch of stuff every single day and come in and hit a bloody, 90% plus squat with ease. It's not going to happen, man. This is not, you're not at that level. Still, 220 is still very, very heavy weight. And I need to have a couple of bloody easier days where I just come in and I just do like a simple 70% squat and nothing else, no accessories. Not come in really, really fatigued for a single of the week. No, that's not what we're after here. So what I'm looking at is essentially 4 days of training, hypertrophy training, prehab training, and then 3 days, I'm thinking Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I just come in and I just exist. So I just come and warm up the hips, go up to 3-plate squat, leave. So like 20, 25-minute sessions, no more. And then on the Saturday, I come in and I try a heavier single. And when all of that starts to feel good, when I start to hit 220 with ease, maybe even 225, 230 or something like that, hopefully by then I'll know that the hips are really, really ready for me to plug in all the other stuff, the real big stuff, the low bar squats, the deadlifts, the belt squats, start hitting all of that so that I can feel like I can tackle the 240. 240 is still very heavy, man. Like I was very, very peaked for that 237, and that moved very slowly. So that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. Appreciate you guys. Catch you in the next one. Peace out.